It's 5 minutes past 7 a.m. right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. Good morning to you today and happy new week. Welcome to Front Page Review on Voice of the People 90.3 FM, where we bring the headlines to life. It promises to be an exciting day as the weather seems stable with a promise of sunshine throughout the day. I'm your host. My name is Chioma Innocent. I'm sitting in for Jude Ikami Jude, and you know that every week from Monday to Friday, we dive into the biggest stories making waves on front pages in Nigeria and around the world. From breaking news and the political dramas in Abuja to the buzz of traffic in Lagos, to the latest in culture, sports, entertainment, we'll explore the stories that matter most and, of course, we'll spark conversation with you. So, whether you're rushing off to work this morning or school or you're chasing your business, whether you're caught in the morning rush and Monday traffic, or you're one of the lucky ones still at home and chilling with a hot cup of something nice, I would implore you to relax and join us as we unfold the news for today, one front page at a time. On the front page review this morning, I'll be taking you through the headlines of major Nigerian newspapers. Later on, I'll be joined by Rufai Oseni, who also, I may have someone else joining me to offer their own perspective to the issues. In the final minutes, the communication lines will be open so that you can also be a part of the conversation. We are Voice of the People, and our job is to make sure that your voice is heard loud and clear. Without further ado, let's get right into it, starting with the front page of Punch newspapers this morning. All right, on Punch newspaper this morning, we have quite a number of headlines. How Bobrisky smuggled ATMs into Kirikiri, paid 35 million naira to live large. That is according to Kirikiri Bale. Kwara shortlist 1,800 for teaching jobs. 15 injured in Lagos gas explosion. That's quite a tragic one. Reps plan committee for Rivers warns administrator against making laws. Crude price crash. Petrol can drop below 400 naira per litre. This is according to refiners. And 20 governors under fire for delaying 70,000 naira minimum wage. Police commands brace for fresh nationwide protest. Supreme Court judgment. Abure fears Labour Party headquarter takeover by the NLC. And why Trump tariff is bad for Nigerian exports, according to the federal government. 2027 coalition pushes for single-term candidate. Nigeria's debt servicing rises 68% to 13 trillion naira. We're still looking at a number of headlines on the Punch newspapers this morning. On the front page review on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Police intensify probe into abduction of 5-year-old girl in Lagos. I do hope we'll be getting a positive development on that later. Families lament as cases against dismissed policemen stall in court. Zion Movement founder distances self from bloggers' detention saga. 6 killed, 9 injured in Taraba boat accident. Quite a tragic one. We do hope that the souls of the deceased will rest in peace. Security operatives nab 3 kidnappers in Benue State. NDLEA arrests 75-year-old man and siblings for drugs. $4.9 million fraud. U.S. court jails Nigerian for 46 months. And man jailed 84 years for attacking Ekiti civil servant. Those are the stories that can be found on the front page of Punch newspapers. From Punch, we're moving to Daily Post this morning, right here on front page review. Hope rises for disengaged Southeast civil servant as OT moves to reverse 2011 non-indigent policy. That's on the front page of Daily Post. 2027, Atiku Peter Obi in talks to join SDP, will retire Tinubu ex-presidential candidate. Also on the front page of Daily Post this morning, IGP withdraws invitation to Emir Sanusi. It's mischievous. Police warn against planned April 7 nationwide protest. April 7, that's today. Nigeria presidential election. I don't see who can remove Tinubu in 2027 aid. Still on Daily Post. Fulani herdsmen not behind killings in Benue South. This is according to Macban. That's very interesting because the people who live in these areas that are attacked do let it be known that the people who attack them are headers. You would think that they can actually recognize these people. But we'll be talking about that later on as the program progresses. Olunloyo, he influenced future leaders, fortified educational institutions, ex-Oyo Commissioner Akambi. And still on Daily Post, war. Hezbollah must be disarmed as soon as possible. U.S. envoy. Trump compares tariffs to medicine as Asian markets convulse. Hamas fires rockets at Israeli cities as Israel issues evacuation orders in Gaza. And back to Nigeria, gunmen attack Morai village in Kebbi, kill 13 vigilante members. You would think that the war against insecurity is actually being won. But then let's move to the front page of Vanguard newspapers this morning. No respite for textile industry as domestic market shrinks further. That story can be found on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. Cybercrime Act emergency rule protest anxiety as police and organizers defer. The police it really seems like they're not happy about these planned protests and do not want it to hold, but the organizers are insisting that it must go on as planned. Ikbazu Ugwanye, Shehu Sani, Omokri, others make ambassadors list. Okay. Trump tariff, experts raise fresh alarm over battered naira. Rising gym fees. Cybercrime Act, emergency rule protests, anxiety as police and organizers differ. All these stories can be found on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. Tribunal, it was obvious PDP had no case against Okpebolo. This is according to the Attorney General of Edo State. Uphold human rights ahead of Monday's protest, Amnesty International tells federal government. Kanu Idel Fitri killing, police withdraws invitation letter to Emir Sanusi. And on Labour Party crisis, it's time to give peace a chance, Governor Oti tells Abure faction. And one more story before we move away from Vanguard this morning. Supreme Court decision on Labour Party leadership may have come too late. This is according to Senator Imaswe. All of these stories can be found on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. Moving on this morning on the front page review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We're going into Daily Trust newspapers, which is also, we also have this story on the front page. IGP withdraws invitation to Sanusi. ACF to federal government. Stop killings in Plateau. Also, we have a top story here. Take It Back movement insists on protest. And NNPP leadership still under our control. Kwankwaso's camp. Shehu Sani eyes Senate comeback amid shifting political landscape in Kaduna State. Anambra governorship, Soludo Ukachukwu Moralu secure APGA, APC and Labour Party tickets. All of these stories can be found on the front page of Daily Trust newspapers. It's 12 minutes past 7 a.m. this morning. We're looking at the front pages on Front Page Review. My name is Chama Innocent. I'm your host and I'm sitting in for Jude Ikame Jude, who unfortunately is not around at the moment. But then we've taken quite a number of stories on the front pages this morning. We'll be heading into the Nation newspapers. Labour Party alleges plot by NLC to invade its secretariat. Aggrieved bank depositors fault NDIC on planned pro rata payment. Police protesters head for showdown in Lagos, Abuja. Tinubu's vision driving towards prosperity, says Shatima. Julius Berger promises delivery of Bodo Bonny Road project in December. And NAFDAC hires Indians for drug inspection. All of these stories can be found on the front page of the Nation newspapers. Ex-Governor Oluloyo dies 9 days to 90th birthday. Quite a tragic one, and we hope that his soul will rest in peace. Dump site explosion. Operatives probe source of grenades. The newspaper that the invitation has been withdrawn. Now the newspaper that the invitation has been withdrawn. Nigeria's public debt rises by 48.58% to 144.67 trillion naira. I don't think that is something that many Nigerians will be happy about. And finally, before we go ahead and talk to our analyst this morning, I'll be looking at the front page of the Sun newspaper. Outrage spreads over Plateau killings. Kano, pleased to obtain statement from Sanusi over Salah Day tragedy. IGP withdraws invitation to Emir Sanusi. Constitution review, rep small creation of 302 new parliamentary seats. 302 new parliamentary seats? Alleged unlawful demolition, UK-based Nigerian threatens legal action against Nasarawa government. And Trump's 14% tariff threatens Nigeria's $6 billion export revenue. Also on the front page of the Sun newspaper this morning, Labour Party crisis. Abure's team alleges plans to invade National Secretariat. PDP Igodalo insists on challenging tribunal's decision after studying judgment CTC, that is the certified true copy. Why Governor Kefas is working with opposition in Taraba, that is according to Bello. Also, give peace a chance. Attempt to destroy Labour Party will backfire. Oti tells Abure. Okay, Anambra Guba Primary losers gainers in APGA, APC, and LP. This story can be found on the front page of the Sun newspaper. And despite supporting President on Rivers, National Assembly added clauses to reduce the 6-month emergency rules. Senate spokesperson Daramodu. If really that's the case, how come we're actually just hearing about it right now? Federal government to roll out 3.2 M meters to bridge electricity access gap. All of these can be found on the front page of the Sun newspapers. Anyway, right now I'll be joined by Rufai Oseni to actually talk about some of the issues in the news this morning. Great to have you here, Rufai. Good morning. Rufai, are you there? Can you hear me? Good morning and welcome to the Front Page Review. All right, we'll take a short break and make sure that we are connected to Rufai Oseni and then come back. Keep listening. You're tuned into the Front Page Review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Welcome back. You're still tuned into the Front Page Review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's great to have you here, Rufai Oseni. Good morning and Happy New Week.
My pleasure, my sister. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Bless you.
All right, Rufai, let's head right into it. We've actually taken a number of stories on the Front Page Review this morning. All right, and I want to know which of these you want to talk about. 20 governors under fire for delaying 70,000 naira minimum wage. This is after President Tinubu's special advisor on economic affairs is coming out to tell Nigerians that $1 is enough to eat every day, even if you're earning the minimum wage. Meanwhile, some governors aren't even paying.
With due respect, don't mind my brother Tokwe Fasua. That's how they all see when they get to government. He knows me very well. Nobody has interviewed him critically as much as I have done. Since the days when he was running for presidency under Abundant Renewal Party in 2019, and many other interviews we've had together. Most of the positions he holds now are different from the positions he held before. He knows. So you see, in a bid to defend government, they made all sorts of faulty arguments. What he's trying to say is what they call the Big Mac Index. Definitely, there's going to be price variation based on economic threshold across the world. What he also fails to realize is that, does he know that 7 hours of work in America is the total monthly minimum wage in Nigeria? So if he's saying that $1 can buy food here, obviously, and $10 cannot buy you lunch in America, obviously that's going to be the case because economic thresholds are different. Minimum wage per hour in America is about $7. And if you prorate that for 7 hours, that'll give you about $50, which is our monthly minimum wage. So we all know that. And the fact that he's saying, 1,500 is a big deal, instead of economy and poverty is not that much. See, you should tell me the price of a bag of rice in the market in 2010 compared to minimum wage, and the bag of rice in the market now compared to minimum wage. Today, the bag of rice is about the same rate of the minimum wage, or even more than the minimum wage. In 2010, a bag of rice was about 6,000. I think it was around 2011, it went up to 9,000. And as at that rate, it was not up to the monthly minimum wage of about 20,000 then. So you can see all of these economic indices. So they will never speak truth to power. Today is arguing that he's happy the way the Naira is. I have an interview I did with him in where was it? About 2-3 years ago, when Emefiele was CBN governor, where he was arguing against the devaluation of the Naira. I still have that interview. It's a 2-part interview. I used to do a show then on TVC. It was an economic show that my production company taped. I still have that interview with him. So they will always say things when it suits their narrative. And that my economic show was syndicated across border. I had the ambassador of Bangladesh to Nigeria. We're just talking economy and business and trade and all of that. It was syndicated online, on VO News, on TVC, and many other platforms. So when it suits them, they push a narrative. When it doesn't suit them, they push another narrative. We all know the facts. And for me, the point I also want to make this morning, I'm very sad that those that criticize the killing in Uromi are not criticizing the killing in Plateau as much. They are not shouting travesty. Governor Muswan said it's a genocide. And they said it was a crisis. They are not criticizing it enough. The same people that say, because you see, my argument has always been all lives matter. But when you say all lives matter to some people, they start to look and say, no. That's why till today, people that you expect to criticize the killing, the mob action of Deborah, have not criticized it. All lives must matter for fairness and integrity in Nigeria. If all life does not matter, then when are we growing? And as for the governors that are not paying minimum wage, is it today that people have been breaking laws? It's not today. So they must hold them accountable. And when I get a chance to ask my very good neighbor, Governor Daud Alawal of Namfara, I'll ask him, what's happening? Because I also saw names being mentioned there. You see, if we want to build this country, we must build it in truth and integrity. And it's a very hard one for our political actors to do. Because for them, it's always about their own interest. They must go ahead and pay the minimum wage. That is not even enough in the first place for the people to live and survive on. Another story making the rounds. Now, after a lot of call, the Minister of Trade has finally responded and given a word to the Trump tariff by saying that they're going to look at it. You know, we export a lot of crude oil to America, blah blah blah. The truth is, we must have a concise effort to not be able to think of the knock-on effect of this trade war, which is dumping on our own soil. Because if these countries cannot, anyway, Trump has said about 50 countries have tried to do deals with him and all of that. If these countries can't get into as much of the American market, they look for other markets, which is Nigeria, population size. Check the country with the top 10 largest population in the world. Obviously, there will be Nigeria in them. Even if spending quota is small, at least there's a market size. So when these products come in, who protects also our local businesses? What are we doing as regards that? How do we also support our local manufacturers? I mean, these are questions we should be able to ask and we should be able to introspect. But the problem is the quality of thinking for me is very funny. And the police is kicking against the protest today. You know, the police has come out to say that it's ill time. Please, dear police, remember everybody has a fundamental human rights. In this same country, people shut down this country for 12 days when they were protesting against Goodluck Jonathan. And you allowed them their rights. So the organizers of the nationwide Take It Back movement protest have differed with the police over this, and they have a right to it. Because police is so quick to threaten them. So what country are we living in? The APC got into government on the strength of constant protest, and Goodluck Jonathan allowed them their rights. So why is it that during their own turn, it's not always a good thing? Then they say people will infiltrate and all of that. Let's be realistic. Let's call it speed is speed. What you need to do as police is provide security for them and uphold human rights. We must not hear of case of extrajudicial killings. NLC is saying they support any form of protest. People have a right to protest. People are also saying they support, the unconstitutional actors in Rivers State because the right of protest. Let's see if the protest is going to hold today. But you see, we must build a nation that truly works for all. And when we live in a society where that nation doesn't work for all, it becomes a problem. Over the weekend, we lost Omololu lawyer. I got a chance to meet him when I was working and doing a program on Unique FM in Malaysia in 2011. Very cerebral guy, mathematician. His tenure was short-lived because of the coup. He was former governor of our old Oyo State. May his soul continue to rest in peace. And many other stories making the rounds. I quickly just want to say this about Israel. Now, Israel is trying to backtrack on his initial story because the Palestinians have now released a video that showed how they killed some Palestinian aid workers. They said they were driving in a very suspicious way. They were not driving in a very suspicious way. And that's part of the malaise that is going on between this Israel-Palestinian war. Only God knows when there's going to be a ceasefire, because this has been a long tenured war. Only God knows when there's going to be a ceasefire. Only God knows. So it's an interesting time for us. It's a very sad time for the world. I know you might have one or two other stories too.
Yes, of course, Rufai. Thank you so much for your
Just
analysis.
talk about
On the protest, not to chaos. Northern youth have disowned the planned nationwide protest. That is, the Northern Youth Council of Nigeria has distanced itself from the planned nationwide protest, attacked Take It Back, warning that such demonstrations could inflame tensions and destabilize the country. You recall that President Tinubu's special advisor resigned. That's Hakim Baba Ahmed resigned recently. His political advisor rather resigned, and one cannot help but ask, speculate, and actually put two and two together to say, is it because of the fact that some northern elements are actually disgruntled towards this administration? Another story I would also like you to look into is the Bale of Kirikiri explaining how Bobrisky smuggled ATMs into Kirikiri and paid 35 million naira to live large. You recall when the House of Reps was sitting on this issue, a lot of Nigerians said, is it Bobrisky we should be talking about in this country? But doesn't this speak to the decadence of our correctional institutions if some people are allowed to live a certain way when they're supposed to be incarcerated?
My sister, it speaks to the decadence of our correctional institution, and that's why we should call on the minister to do the needful. Anyway, some people were suspended as a result of the Bobrisky case, but that measure is not far-reaching enough. We must have more sweeping actions. As regards Baba Ahmed, this is prerogative if he wants to leave government and say he's not serving the game. There are indications that the North is disgruntled, but you see, why I don't take that matter to head is that when it close to the election period, President Tinubu knows what he will tell the North and they will still go with him. So forget all of that. You see, what rules Nigerian politics is money and betrayal. Once you have both, forget it. Will the North be able to hold out their own against him? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But I don't like fooling myself. A politician, an incumbent, definitely will have the cash to throw out, because you know what? People have weaponized poverty in this country. So let's see how this anger that is allegedly going around by the stakeholders in the North will pan out. They are coalescing. They are trying to form a coalition. I keep repeating the point that if all of them want to run at the same time, then it's going to be problematic. They can as well kiss that coalition goodbye. I'll tell you the facts. And most of these things I'm saying today, call me back in 2027 after the election. You see most of these things I gave an analysis come to pass. Because why? I know the historical antecedents of Nigerian politics. And I know how it pans out. And if all hands are not on deck, then it becomes problematic. And that's what always happens in the end. In the end, it's always the man that has the money to spend, has the people to bribe, has the people to corrupt that gets it in the end. That's the sad reality of Nigerian politics. That's just
Rufai, while we're talking about the sad reality of Nigerian politics, I want you to quickly talk about this issue before you have to go, because I know that our time is up. Reps Plan Committee for Rivers warns administrator against making laws. The House of Reps has reminded the Rivers State Sole Administrator, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, that he does not have the constitutional mandate or power to make laws for the running of Rivers State.
I'm sorry, in the first place. The reps are telling an illegality that it should not make illegal laws.
Which the National Assembly approved. The National Assembly approved the state of emergency.
Administrator in the first place is an illegality. The National Assembly should never have approved it. But we know stories are coming out. One lawmaker said to Jafar that they gave him $5,000 for salary sacrifices. Until today, it's not come out to debunk it. So we know what transpired. The sole administrator is an illegality. It's got no place in our democracy. It's got no place now. Who elected the sole administrator? Who elected him? Government fiat. So where are the rights of the people? Let's keep deceiving ourselves. You see, but one thing I always know, my sister, is the fact that hegemony will not last forever. We've seen people that felt they were high-handed. If you go and read back in history, the Peloponnesian Wars, something called the Siege of Melo. Italians felt they were the biggest. Oh, where are they today? They are all gone. The Peloponnesian War is all gone. Genghis Khan at some point felt was the biggest. It's all gone. Hitler at some point felt was the biggest. Gone. McCarthy felt at some point he was the biggest in America. Gone. So hegemonies will not last forever. They will go to at some point. But the question is, what legacy do we leave behind? We'll keep speaking truth to power. The state of emergency was wrong in the first place. So in Bokos, that there's a threat to human life, that you see activity and killing, why didn't they declare a state of emergency? Because we know it was all contrived. Let us do well. Let us do right. Let us do well for God. Let us do well for country. So that we said about us long after we're gone that we did our bit for God and for country. That's always been my philosophy. That's always been my philosophy.
Mr.
We'll see the end of this their hegemony. We'll see.
Rufai, we need to round up, but for 1 minute, the police have withdrawn their invitation letter to Emir Sanusi over the unfortunate incident that occurred in Kano State during the Salah celebration.
No, they've not withdrawn the invitation. All they said is he should not come to Abuja again for the interrogation, that they will send the police operatives to come and meet him wherever he is in Kano to get his own statement. That was all what was said. So the invitation is still on, but they will send now, probably out of respect, the operatives of the police to come and get his own side of the story as regards the Salah incident where somebody died. And it's very sad that somebody still have to die during the Salah fracas, because the both camps had both said they were not going to do the Durban. The police have said both of them should not do their Salah Durban. And only for that to happen, which is sad.
Thank you so much, Rufai, for joining me on the front page review this morning. I hope you have an amazing day.
I hope you have a splendid day too. Bless you.
Thank you so much. You're still tuned in to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. This is the front page review. I'm your host. My name is Chioma Innocent. I'm sitting in for Jude Ikami Jude, who unfortunately cannot be around at the moment. We've talked about quite a number of issues on the front pages of major Nigerian newspapers this morning. And of course, at some point in the conversation, I would want to hear from you, our Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And what we do here is make sure that your voice is heard loud and clear. So I want to go on a short break, and when I return from this break, of course, it will be time for you to be a part of the conversation. And we also have someone else who will be chipping in on the matters being discussed this morning. Keep listening. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Stay tuned. Let's go on a short advert break. I'll be right back.
Exclusive radio station, VOD 90.3, bringing you the best mix of the best music.
From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lord.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and pressure for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things and makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. Voice of the People. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never say.
Welcome back to the front page review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent. Before I went on that break, I was speaking with Rufai Oseni on certain issues that actually made it to the front page of major Nigerian newspapers this morning. It's time for you to actually call in so that the conversation can continue. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. You can also try the number 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. You can also send a message on WhatsApp or actually call on WhatsApp 0817 175 6338. We're streaming live on YouTube, VOP 903 FM on YouTube. So we're streaming live. Do join us and leave a comment to be a part of the conversation. Welcome to the front page review. Good morning.
Oh, Choma Innocent. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Week. Go ahead, please.
Happy New Week to you. My name is Peter Monse from Shomolu.
Welcome to the conversation.
Now, I want to repeat what I usually say concerning 2027. Since governance in Nigeria at the moment has been pushed to the sidelines, and then those who have not delivered, those who have messed up the whole situation, APC that has come and has destroyed everything is still talking about 2027 in 2025. A whole 2 years ahead. So all they came to do is to take power, to use power, to destroy Nigeria, destroy Nigerian life. And I want to say that all Nigerians, yes, Rufai said you can use money, they not come back. When they use money, this, I think Tinubu is not invincible as far as I am concerned. I am a Christian. Sometimes I use some biblical stories to make my points because the God of yesterday is the God of today. And he will be the God of tomorrow. There is nobody on this earth that can stand God if God wants to move. I don't think God likes what is going on in Nigeria because the lives of Nigerians have been reduced to nothing. Because the children of Nigeria are no longer able to afford medicine. They can't afford food. I don't think God that created this country with all the wealth in it is happy with what the politicians under APC and Tinubu himself as the president is doing. I'm not sure God is happy about this. So, will God allow his students to continue to suffer like this? Yes, God might not be interested in an outbreak called Nigeria, but God is interested in the people that are living in Nigeria. God will not want us to suffer this way under these people. How do you come into a governance? Everything is destroyed, and you still want to come back. So, the opposition in 2027, the coalition in 2027, should be made up by Nigerians. Nigerians should use the same hunger as they are using as weapon to fight against them. I think it is this hunger, it is this suffering, it is this downward trend in everything that Nigerians should be able to use and say, no, enough is enough.
Thank you so much, Mr. Monsi. Thank you so much.
All Nigerians are members of this opposition party.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate you for your contribution. Thank you so much. The phone lines are open. Please call in. But before I continue taking your calls, let me introduce my guest. I have Olusegun Okunade. He's a policy and public affairs analyst. Great to have you here, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Chairman. Good morning to all our listeners across the globe. Glad to be here this morning.
Thank you so much for coming. Now, I want to talk about something that the last caller mentioned when he says all Nigerians are members of this opposition. All Nigerians are members of this coalition. Now, the Social Democratic Party, SDP, former presidential candidate Adewale Adebayo, has disclosed that ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Peter Peter Obi of the Labour Party and a long list of eminent politicians are in talks with the party. That's the SDP. Now, Adebayo said that Atiku and Obi's representatives are discussing a possible defection to the SDP. He disclosed this while featuring on a television program. According to him, people are joining my party. We're welcoming them. You can see how active I am in welcoming them. Last week, Peter Obi granted a media interview where he says he still remains a bona fide member of the Labour Party. In fact, he's the leader of the party. And of course, I think it was on Friday, the Supreme Court gave a judgment saying Abure is not the chairman of the Labour Party. The Labour Party is kicking. With talks of this coalition and coming together, and the SDP saying these people are coming to us, while Obi saying, well, there's no deal yet, but we are still talking. Would you expect all of these opposition figures to actually go under the umbrella of the SDP? Would the PDP, would I say, melt or dissolve into the SDP? Would the Labour Party do the same? Like, would this coalition really work? El-Rufai is part of the SDP now.
Thank you very much. You see, the way politics run in this country is quite interesting. I would say that 2027, it's closer, but at the same time, there are a lot of alignment dynamics that will play out. Everyone migrating to SDP as we speak, with El-Rufai confirmed to have actually moved. Initially, it was more or less like we are still in talk, but at least they've confirmed that he has moved. We don't know the game some of them are actually playing towards 2027. Let me give you this shocker. During 2023 election, the pre-election to it, I'm sure a lot of people saw different candidates in this current political party, APC, that was vying for the presidential candidate as presidential candidate. And you saw the humongous amount of money individuals of them paid. But at the eve of that particular primaries, you saw the way people stepped down and consolidated all their vote for the current president. Is to tell you that it is not over until it is over. And everybody can come out. The politicians, I can tell you as we speak, that they understand the dynamics of how to play with the citizen. I understand the approach at which the last scholar actually put it, that every Nigerian is actually facing a lot of hardship. I would say this, that we are facing our own, but globally there seems to be this synonymous of hardship across board. Invite somebody in the United States of America, they will tell you that it's not business as usual with what Trump is actually doing for them. But let's speak peculiar to our own challenges faced in the country. That until 2027, the politicians understand the language of the citizen. We can speak our grammar. A lot of us that call in, that give analysis, you ask yourself, how many of them do even have voters card? How many of them do this awareness of a thing to say, let's come out and make the revolution? How many of them are ready to take the lead when it is time? These dynamics that you're saying, where people are forming alignment, don't be surprised, because all these political parties lack party ideology. They cross carpet from one party to the other. If you talk of all the candidates in question, they've moved from one party, from PDP to LP, they are going to SDP, some to Zenith party, and the likes. It's because we keep saying it. None of these parties has the basic ideology that we know with our old Democrats. When you talked about the UPN, the NPN.
Isn't the current president one of these old Democrats you're talking about? And yet, look at what's happening in the country. A lot of people have said the state of emergency declaration in Rivers State is unconstitutional. This is a president who some would say fought for democracy. In fact, former Lagos State Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola described him as a champion of democracy. But are we really seeing that democracy, that democratic change that he could have brought to the country as at this moment, if that's what we're talking about?
Yeah, well, as a leader, I will continue to say he has actually filled the country because so much expectation was expected of him. And maybe his lieutenant are not actually advising. Most of the time when I talk to Rivers State issue, a lot of people can say it's illegality. I'm not a lawyer. But I feel that as a leader, you need to have a firm ground. Don't forget that the parties concerned have actually been invited repeatedly. And some people will say, why is he throwing off eyes from Wike and concentrating on the governor? as you are concerned, the person at the end of affair in that particular state is the governor. And I've asked myself, what political calculation has the governor carried out to see that he can have a buy-in of Mr. President? Because he has a direct access to him. And I know there was a time Mr. President said that he has not even asked, he hardly had word from him. You might regard it as illegality, but the level at which we are experiencing non-governance in the state with the major state actors not actually yielding floor for one another must have necessitated that. And he actually quoted the section of the Constitution that speaks to Section 305 that empowered him to declare the state of emergency, because situation where you don't even have budget that is guiding you, the governor does not have a stay, the National Assembly are doing that, if it's not properly tamed by actually just give, it's just for 6 months, and he said it's a maximum of 6 months, except they don't come to town. And we've started saying, you know, riders coming up to say, okay, Fubara is asking Wiki, let's come together and see how to salvage this,
you know, peace, for the development.
That is the area that I feel that people will now start talking to, and maybe before 6 months we can have reinstatement of democracy back into that state. But I keep telling you that for the president, it needs a firm grant in such a way to avert this unrest that may be generated. Don't forget that before that emergency rule, we started seeing the atmosphere of people bombing pipeline and creating unrest. And that's why.
Well, thankfully, that stopped, and we're not experiencing that anymore at the moment. The phone lines are open: 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. That's the number you can call in order to be a part of the front page review this morning. My name is Chioma Innocent. What is your name and location? Good morning.
Good morning, Chioma.
How are you doing today? Happy New Week. Welcome to the program. Go ahead, please.
I'm doing very well. Patrick is calling from Okota.
Welcome to the conversation. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to react to the statement of one of the officials saying that we can eat with $1 in Nigeria. So because APC has decided to put intellectuals of this country, the best brain among the people of the world, they have decided to put us in one large prison. So they can now decide to say whatever they want to say, and then we don't have anything to react to it. It is very, very disturbing and unfortunate that we have people who beat their chest and say, I am a leader, yet your people are not with you. You are still pretending, and you are still polishing it as if you are doing very well. Each time they come, they give up a scorecard that, oh, the economic reforms are beginning to begin to yield good results. And then go to the field and see Nigerians dying, complaining, crying. The other day, a woman in labor died somewhere in hospital in Lagos because there was no money to pay for the bills. Is that a good news to tell? Even from the state government down to the federal government. Is that how other citizens are dying in other countries? Is that how it is happening? We have leaders here who will not do our home well, and they will go abroad. When they have headache, they go abroad. When they just sneeze, they go abroad. Today, Tinubu is going on a working visit to France. What does he have office in France? He cannot stay here to work, but he's working in France, and the country is burning. This is very, very, very disturbing. And somebody is telling us that they are preaching for us for 2027. Let us get there first.
Thank you so much for your call. I do appreciate you. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. It's still the front page review. We're dissecting and analyzing some of the news stories that we are actually seeing on the front pages of major Nigerian newspapers. Now, one particular story that is actually very, very pertinent for today is that of the planned protest by the Take It Back movement. The police is on high alert. In fact, the DSS has even summoned the Osun State Take It Back movement organizing secretary over the protest that is meant to happen today. The police is saying, look, there may be a breakdown of law and order. No one wants to see that happen. We're not happy about it. We would not like you to hold this protest. But Take It Back movement is saying we must hold this protest because the state of the economy is not something that we're happy about. We're not happy about the state of emergency in Rivers State, and the protest, according to the group, aims to address what it described as the authoritarianism of President Bola Tinubu's administration, the abuse of human rights, and the misuse of the Cybercrime Act is tagged nationwide protest against bad governance and suppression of free speech. DSS officials summoned Oluwatosin, who is the Take It Back movement organizer, secretary of the chapter of the Take It Back movement in Osun State, Olasukomi Mary Oluwatosin. She was summoned to the state capital via a WhatsApp text message. I want to go back to last year when Nigerians held the End Bad Governance protest in August 2024. Then there was the 10 Days of Rage in October. Both of these protests, there are a lot of Nigerians who feel that it yielded no fruit. With the Take It Back movement actually moving for a nationwide lockdown, a nationwide protest against all of these things that they've outlined, a lot of people have actually said the Cybercrime Act is being used to target people who give dissenting opinions on the government policies. Do you agree with Take It Back movement on the protest which is supposed to hold today and the way the police have been handling it?
Yeah, protest is inevitable, if you ask me, because we all have this freedom of speech, freedom of gathering as a citizen, as entrenched in the constitution of our country. But I will always say, how prepared are we as followers to make sure that the unscrupulous elements do not hijack this and making the people who are supposed to go about their their businesses to fall prey, or we even lose life. This is where I feel that the law enforcement agency needs to put up a thinking cap and see how they can manage the situation. If the people are saying it's a peaceful protest where they just have to walk around, can you look for a way to arrange your men to allow them air their view? And for you that you're actually organizing the process, it is not where you use inciting words. If you look at what we faced during NSAS protest, we have a lot of things that were lost. And the government has always been very careful of the way some of the people that put up protests are actually been putting them together. We are still yet to get off the shock. And I'll keep saying, government is not losing anything. It is we, the citizen, that we are losing, because they are not using their personal money to put some of these things in place. But I will always ask, those that are organizers of the protest, how much have they been able to manage the situation in such a way that it will not go out of place when they actually embarked on it, even with the presence of the security agency? I think yesterday, whether in Akure or one part of Southwest, I saw a video trending where the Nans, blocked the road, and they came out to say they are tired of everything that is actually going on. My fear always is how to tame those who do not understand or have other intention of actually making that thing to create it to be an unrest. So
the fear of violence that the police have will now materialize.
That is always the idea. If it is for the elites that feel that they want to carry out a march, the current president did it in time past. People gathered at Ojota during 2013 to actually move against the removal of subsidy. So I don't think it will be something that they will be against. But we've seen back to back this protest not effectively being managed by the organizer, and it goes out of hand and not have to affect the asset, which later they will use the taxpayers' money to fix.
When we're talking about the effectiveness of protests, would you say that the way cut orders were obtained last year to ensure that the protesters are not actually in the way of traffic but are confined to a particular area, is that how protests are carried out? How would this protest be effective? How would they actually lead to what the people want, if indeed they cannot protest in the way that they want to, of course without violence?
I think the fear of NSAS is what is still battling with the government. and they try everything humanly possible.
The fear of NSAS is what the government is battling.
Yeah.
What about the citizens who actually experience something that citizens should not experience that happened in NSAS? Wouldn't you say it's also part of the fear why a lot of people do not join these protests? The momentum was not sustained for the 10 days of rage. By the third, fourth day, you just see a few people. Also, there's been pockets of protests. I don't know if you know about the one that happened in Akure, Ondo State.
That's the one I mentioned.
Protest for over insecurity and other issues. Could these actually rile people up to want to join the Take It Back movement? Because as much as they say they're protesting against cybercrime, other people could be there who are protesting for other things. It could be the economic downturn. It could be the high prices of food items. It could be the death of a loved one due to substandard health facilities in the country.
Yeah, Choma, I will say this. If there is unrest in the country, the government will not go after those other people who carry out that protest, but will move after Take It Back Nigeria organizers who may not have other intention of what other people have in their mind. Just like you have said now, some people are actually bittered by the way government is actually handling the health facility, and they are just waiting for someone to kick the ball rolling, and the next thing is to go ahead and attack individuals that they might consider to be part of the government who are not even part of the government. Do you know that a lot of people that even speak on air are even regarded as part of government officials when they are not? When they are even speaking against the government, they feel that they are actually eaten from the government. And that's why I will continue to say that if there must be a protest, there must be this unity among all the organizers in such a way that when you're actually carrying this out, you can stand your ground to say, guys, please, this is a peaceful protest to air our view, for government to listen to us. It's been done in the developed world, and you've seen instances. But we must take this attitude of always attacking government assets. You must be able to orientate the mind of the people against attacking government asset as a way of actually pushing their things, knowing fully well that when you bring those things down, it is still the taxpayers' money that they will use. It is still the revenue they will drive out on you and I for them to resuscitate some of those things back to base. I'm always saying that protest is good for you to air your view, but it must be well organized in such a way that it is not being hijacked, so that you will not be losing innocent people that are going about their normal businesses, even when they believe in. I've seen instances where people will support you financially and they will just move their own way without joining you on the street. Whether you like it or not, they are part of the protest, because if the finance is not there, you might not be able to execute that which you have. But I feel that the organizers must be able to have holistically all the people put together. I'm not saying that, confining them of not moving the way it is the way to go. But because of the fear of people hijacking it, you might see government bringing that instrumentality of the office to say, yes, you can have your protest, but these are areas at which you must organize it, and we don't have anything outside that particular place.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okunade. It's so great talking to you. Before you go, I want to quickly look at one particular issue. It has to do with the services of the Nigerian Correctional Service. The Ballet of Kirikiri Town has come out to explain how Bobrisky smuggled ATM cards into Kirikiri and paid 35 million naira to live large. Of course, the Ballet is a very important a figurehead of the community. He's the first person you would go to if you need to do whatever you want to do in the community. So this is someone who we believe is not just saying this for saying sake. He's saying this because he has insight. Also, if you recall one time that a particular call leaked and Bobrisky was saying how, at one point they paid a certain amount of money or that he wasn't even in prison but was just put in a particular room and more or less just enjoying, let's say, himself or herself, all while they were supposed to be in cell. Now, why I'm taking this as a Nigerian Correctional Service, right, is because also you've seen the story about former First Lady Patience Jonathan and her domestic staff who were arrested and have been in prison for about 6 years now over missing jewelry and other things amounting to about 750 million naira. It seems like everything in Nigeria is always for the highest bidder gets the best treatment. Because I'm sure that other people in prison who cannot afford to pay a certain amount of money are not given prince or princess treatment. What does this say about our institutions?
Yeah, well, we all know that our institution has certain issues and certain challenges. This double standard is of it. Each time anybody try to do anything, it's about how you're able to influence those behind the scene. When you are there, if you're able to talk to people, is to tell you part of the things we have considered to say that what is your own contribution in your small space to the growth of the country. But what we've always seen is that I am here now. Let me maximize that which I'm able to do so that when I leave, I can have something to fall back on. And that's why when people go in, they weigh you up. If you are part of the people that they consider that they can make good money from, they'll give you that preferential treatment. You are only saying about that. What about the people that was actually challenged with the issue of money laundering on this blockchain technology? They were given preferential treatment, and we saw one of them, leaving the shore of the country. Even when it's
the Binance official. Were they actually given preferential treatment? Because they were locked up in a room which one of them, Gambarian, said it was the NSA's quarters, and at some point he was actually moved into, would I say, solitary confinement. He was actually moved into the prison walls because after the other person escaped, after Anjawala escaped.
Yeah, but before Anjawala escaped, is the NSA quarters now a prison for where you correct people?
Well, do you imprison someone who has not been convicted of a crime?
Well, if you don't, why are you actually keeping him in the custody where the NSA quarters is? If you don't have the rule for you to actually put him in prison, then allow him to have his freedom so that he can go ahead and do. But as soon as you get hold of him, put him at the right place where he's supposed to be rather than giving them preferential. It's a double system that we complain of when you talk about our system. But we believe with time, as people continue to hear their views, we will correct some of these anomalies and we can have a great country called Nigeria.
It's been an exciting, interesting, and insightful conversation with you this morning. I do appreciate you for joining me on the Front Page Review. Quite a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me, Choma.
Do have an amazing day. Thank you so much. This is still the Front Page Review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent. I'm sitting in for Jude Ikami Jude, who unfortunately is under the weather. So if you love Jude, please wish him speedy recovery. He is convalescing at the moment. Jude is unwell. That's the meaning of all this grammar. Jude is not feeling fine, and that's why he can't be here today. So please wish him well. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. If you call this number, you get to be a part of the conversation. You can reach me directly in the studios. Every caller has 1 minute, so we can take as many calls as possible before I have to leave the studio. 0803 692 9933. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Thank you. Go straight to the point. What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, you have Mr. Mbako from Lasamajem.
Welcome to the conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah, Choma, I don't just want to stay on the minister or the presidency who said that the $1 or $10 cannot eat in America because everything is wrong with APC government. They don't see the goods. They don't see the good ones. They don't see the bad ones, it's only the good ones. But my topic this morning goes about the killing in Plateau. Are we going to define that killing as a killing or massacre? There is a difference between killing and massacre. Even in Gaza, where Israel and Palestine are fighting, you can't record the number of deaths that have been massacred in Plateau. And here we have the governors over there. We have the presidency, we have the chief of army staff, we have all the security parameters in this country. And here, every time we hear that 20, 40, 50 are being killed in Plateau, Benue, Enugu, and other parts of this country by headers. You understand? Then what these people who are elected, like Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who went to working this in
France, yes.
Yeah, what is he going to get to do? And he had that massacre. I'm blaming him. You know why the state of emergency has been declared in rivers because of military blow the oil pipeline. We don't even lost any life there. A Russia and declare state of emergency there because of their selfish interests. But here we have a plateau where people have been massacred, and here we have a president who have never come in some country to talk about the massacre. The country who are not going into full-blown war. I think people have been massacred every day. I don't know who are voting these people in this country. Every election, people will start and come and vote. And here, what wrong can still continue year and year? And you see that the Nigeria is not working, and you are voting one Nigeria. It's a very big shame.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your call. I do appreciate you. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Welcome to the conversation. Good morning. You have 1 minute. What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, good morning, Shoma.
Good morning to you.
Edward calling from Sango.
Welcome to the conversation, Edward.
Please, I want you to go back to this analysis and let him answer one question there. Following Tinubu's performance since he entered this government, and a lot of killings everywhere in Nigeria, and abandoning his private duty, where he goes to France, and Shetima went to Senegal, leaving a lot of deaths in Plateau. How can he rate this particular Tinubu government? Is he performing? Let ask him question, because I heard him speaking of preserving government properties. He did not even mention about lives, which is the primary function of government person, maybe as a leader, to preserve a life and property. He did not even mention about life there. So ask him how the Tinubu government is performing. Did he deserve second term? And second one, I want people to go in and make more research, get their voter card ready, and let Obi that we know that is performing, get personality of people that will assist him to win 2027 election. We are not talking about collaborating with many parties. That one will not too much help us. Let him collaborate with better personalities. We have seen Natasha performing. If he can collaborate with that kind of woman and more other people that are very viable, with the support of Nigerians, I know Obi can take over this government.
Thank you so much.
And lastly, let them do something on electoral reforms.
Okay.
Please, very urgent. Yes.
Thank you so much for your call. I do appreciate you. This is the front page review right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Choma Innocent. I'm sitting in for Jude Ikami Jude, who unfortunately is under the weather at the moment. So please send him your good wishes for a speedy recovery. 0803-692-9933. Every caller has 1 minute. What's your name and location, please? Good morning.
Good morning. This is Alexander from the
Hello? Alexander. Oh, Alexander. Thank you for calling. Go ahead, please. Good morning to you.
In the first place, I need to make a contribution to what you are saying.
Okay.
To everyone there. The question on ground is, what was the agreement between this government and the nation? I get you now. This man has no manifesto that he used to campaign to the people. All of the time was voted in. And Nigeria go ahead to go and vote him. We know the antecedent of this man when he was a governor in Lagos State. So, for we now to be experiencing what we are saying, there is no need for Nigeria to cry foul. They knew that already they are voting for the loser on that day.
For the loser, there are quite a number of people who agree with his policy and his reforms. You can't deny that the current administration has its own supporters for whatever reason.
We are both in Nigeria. We are here. Are you getting me? I told my people that the end of everything is better than the beginning thereof. Now, what people are doing today, you will regret it later. I thank God they have experienced me. And I thank God for the life of my very good brother. Mr. Hussein. He has said it all. Are you getting me now?
Yes.
But the American people, he knows how to play them out. When it comes to 2027, what these people, everybody are talking, they are just fooling themselves. The man knows the game of the rule of the game.
We will not preserve and protect us.
Thank you so much.
On the economic side, we need not to put ourselves in the There is nothing the man can do. I get him now. He's breaking that money and he's enriching his all his colleagues. This is what he's doing with the money. Good morning, man.
Thank you so much for your call. I do appreciate you. 0803-692-9933. Hello, welcome to the conversation. What's your name and location?
Yeah, Mr. Bestman on the line. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, Madam Chairman.
Good to hear from you.
Oh, thank you very much. You are a hard-working lady. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thank you.
You are management. They need to award you.
Please just contribute to the conversation.
No, I always listen to you. I always on the radio, so that's I know what I'm saying.
Thank you. But please talk about the issues that down ground.
Okay, the issue is on the ground. I tell people that Tinubu don't have something good to offer to Nigerians before they buy force to us. The people did not vote for you. He lost Lagos. He lost Abuja. He lost all the capital, former capital and present capital. He lost everything.
Hello, are you there? Give me a call back. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. We have quite a plethora of messages on WhatsApp. I may be able to take them all. Please forgive me in advance. Hello? Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you doing? What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, I'm fine. My name is Shola. I'm calling from Egbeda, Lagos.
Thank you so much for calling, Shola. Go ahead, please.
Okay. The government saying that the dollar is enough, for Nigerians to feed. This is, a kind of insult, an insensitive statement that has been very consistent from the government. And what I want to say is that the way these people in power have been treating Nigerians, I want to liken it to a rubber band. When you pull a rubber band and stretch it to a limit, what happens? It snaps. I just hope that very soon it will not get to a situation where it will be, if I perish, I perish. Yes, the reason I'm saying this is that it's very obvious that the government, they really know Nigerians that you think brutal and fearful, in quote. Fela sang about this long time ago. I've had personal experience. I know that Nigerians can tolerate a lot. You understand? If you push us to the wall, we break the wall. But it is getting to that stage now. And look at the insecurity here and there. Where is the president today? He is in France. He said working visits. These are things of shame. And, I don't have more to say than just that. I have a feeling within me that we should be careful. Something might snap. Something might snap.
All right. Thank you so much for your call. I do appreciate you, Shola. Unfortunately, I can't take any more calls at this moment. I want to take some of your messages. From Mazi Gochuku, a.k.a. Elder General Isheri Oshun, I don't know why the reprisal attack in Ovia East in Edo State by Fulani terrorists that destroyed 2 villages is not going viral like Uromi incident. I want to wish my lovely wife, Lolo Chioma Anyegbu, happy birthday, and also wishing Chikairo Adigbo General happy birthday. Free Mazin Namdekano. Good morning to everyone in the studio. People were killed in Uromi in Edo State. Heaven was let loose and the killers were rounded up. Now in Plateau State, 110 were killed, their homes destroyed by bandits, and nobody's talking. What a country. Mayor from Ikotuegbe. Good morning. The man in Tinubu's government is making comparisons with the U.S. that $10 cannot buy you a meal in the country. He should be ashamed of himself. Leo from Lagos. How long are we going to condone with people who lost their dear ones to killers going on all over the nation without arrest and persecution? Benjamin from Shogunle. Okay, Mark Bank cannot deceive anyone about the activities of its members. Osi Nwaje from Shasha. Good morning, Chama. The missing 5-year-old guy in Lagos should not be treated with soft hands. I sympathize with the family. From His Royal Highness BC Nwoko in Oshodi. Good morning, Chama. The practice must go on. They've distracted us with issues that have not directly affected our lives. Nigerians are hungry and our rulers are living big. Chude from Ayetoro. Greetings to you, Chama Innocence. A beautiful Monday morning. Let's go and make the money. Prince Ayatai from Arena Market. If not for bad leadership, fuel pump price will drop at 300 naira per litre. Good morning, VOP family. My name is Ibezim from Ojekule Ladipo Market. Does it mean that the APC government cannot fight insecurity, hardship, and hunger that is facing Nigerians? Good morning. Please kindly note, okay. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to you, my sister. I wish you many, many years ahead. Remain blessed. Kalechi from Yaba. I believe that's for Adigbo, and she's in the studios with Too Handsome right about now. In Dubai, in day one.
He must spell like this morning.
I'm
good.
How was your birthday celebration?
Okay, after you first.
Chama, what I saw yesterday, I don't even know where to start. If you look at me, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, speechless.
You don't celebrate.
That's so beautiful. Massive. It was so massive.
That's beautiful.
Shoma Innocent, I have one question for you. I heard how you were speaking Yoruba.
It's too early. You reach our own language. It's too early to insult. You reach our own language. I think, but you guys say Utuchoma.
You've not landed. Land very well in Igbo language.
Don't mind to answer. Adigbo.
Very well.
Adigbo.
I saw how you were speaking Yoruba.
Look at my face. Adigbo, look at my face. Adigbo, see my eyes.
That's very well in Igbo
Okay, we go gapo na studio ka Adigbo na Too Handsome bia kocharu no ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị na okwu nke ndị banya ha bụ Chioma. Adigbo, you celebrate me. Thank you. Too Handsome is a hater. Please go away.
But it was so
even the Yoruba no speak like that. You're a hater.
No, you're speaking as if you're speaking Latin.
You are a hater. Make I speak my language for you. Make I speak my language for you. Ndị ba anyị nafuo unuto mail front page review oge room different studio. My Odigwen do know my today. Don't tell me that nonsense. It's time for me to go. You get language. Okay, you so handsome and Adigbo is coming next.
I called your people to come and wish me happy birthday in their dialect. I know why I called them. It's because of this thing that you are speaking.
Did you now wait why? Did how you go take care of? You're just a hater. I can take on my You're just a hater. That's now my main dialects like that I speak for you. Now the people where I love and they speak out for. Adigbo, what do you want to talk about this morning?
A lot is happening. They say $1 should be enough for us
to eat. Say, you know the thing where bust my head. The man say when it's not as if you are eating at the Hilton. That's Transcorp Hilton. 7.5. Can you feed somebody in Transcorp Hilton?
$1 should be enough for me, right?
In your village.
So yes, how much is he spending every day to eat? Anyway, he's speaking for the master.
He's speaking for the master. And we are speaking for the people right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We need to go. Adigbo with Too Handsome and Adigbo comes up shortly.
Somebody is saying that you should just use Yoruba to tell them that Kemesiam
in Dubai, Amakpada Walola.